What's going on, people on the internet? Hope all is well and you're having a beautiful day wherever you are. Today, I want to share what's inside my camera bag, 2022 style. Let's get to it. What's going on, people on the internet? Welcome back to the channel. Today, I want to share with you what's inside my camera bag, 2022 style. As you already know, I've had this bag for the past 3 months. If you haven't seen my unboxing video, here it is. But this is the Aputure Mckinnon Nomadic Everyday Camera Bag. And I've been having this for the past 3 months. Have definitely worked with this for quite some time, taking a bunch of stuff out, because I definitely know as a hiker, every ounce counts. So everything here is pretty much, I always have and just lives in here all the time. So as already at the get-go, as you already tell, I don't have a tripod. Now, there's a reason why I don't have a tripod. On the everyday basis, let's be honest. You know, do you really carry a tripod and always use it all the time? I mean, sure, but if you're going to a friend's house, you're going to like a hike, half the time you don't use it or you only use it once. So unless you really plan to, or unless you're traveling, you know, for me specifically on the everyday basis, why carry something when it just seems unnecessary? So a tripod does not actually exist on this bag unless I actually need to or plan to. Now, going straight into the bag itself, back axis. As I said before in the previous video unboxing, this whole system is a cube pack, and there's like a whole attic here and 2 packs that I specifically carry for this everyday camera setup, and organization zippers on the side. So no specific order. I'm gonna just do something real quick. And the camera that I carry, which is obviously what I'm recording here, is the Sony a7S III with a 16-35 lens. Always on there, and it just kind of pops in here. I'm just kind of putting this for this video. This is my trusty old Canon 80D with a 24-70 on top, what lives inside in this cube when I need it, where I'm going all the time. So moving on from there is a memory pack card case from the Aputure Mckinnon Nomadic line. Now this carries, I think, like 9 slots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 7, 8, and like maybe if you want to put something here. And pretty much why I have a memory case specifically, you know, you're probably wondering, you know, this has two card slots. Why do you actually need to carry more memory cards? Great question. You know, when I'm hiking, when I'm doing all these types of things, doing time lapses, if I'm doing a long video and I just need like a whole entire sector of some stuff, my memory cards get filled really fast, and I've almost had moments where I'm like, oh my gosh, I have no memory. This sucks. So to avoid all that stuff, I just kind of carry this in. It's like a few extra ounces, so it's not a big deal. So that's why I carry this in here in this cube pack all the time. Now, in the same pocket is the Peak Design minimalistic, whatever, mirrorless camera strap. Now, I specifically love this specific thing because I feel like you can't tear it or anything, and the whole ecosystem, I love Peak Design stuff. I have the Peak Design, the carbon fiber tripod right now already set there when I need it, but the whole system with the whole entire like capture clips and like all that jazz, I love it a lot. And it definitely comes in handy all the time, so that's why for quick access types of stuff and just kind of quick one and done, that's why I have this in here for some stabilization and whatnot. Don't really need to explain what a camera strap is for. So that's why this exists right here in this pocket. Moving on to the small other pocket, as every camera person should have, is Gaffers Tape. Now, Gaffers Tape, I don't really explain what really tape is, honestly, but specifically why I carry this and not like maybe Scotch tape or whatever. It's just really good for adhesiveness and one and done type of thing. If I'm like needing to put down cables for some reason, if something punctures for some reason somewhere, this always comes in the clutch all the time. So that's why, for tape reasons and everything, this exists all the time, full roll. So moving on to the next cube is something I always carry, which is the 24-70 lens that I recommended before. The one and only lens you need if you're starting out, or the one and only lens that I feel like it's just great to have for pretty much every type of situation. So check out the video right here if you want to see why I carry this specific lens. But like I said, great versatile lens for all types of purposes, from wide to telephoto, and you got some portraits and all that type of stuff. So that's why this exists in here when I need it. So moving on into the next pocket is something I actually recently purchased, and that is an L bracket. Now, I actually saw a reel of this. I never really knew this L bracket even existed before. This thing is like 10 bucks. I got this specifically from Joby. I definitely love this a lot. As we're kind of moving towards more of the vertical aspect of things, even DJI drones are starting to flip vertically because for some reason we're trying to do everything short videos and TikToks for sort of quick satisfactions. Hey, maybe I'll get to it, but pretty much I have this in here. If I do have my tripod and everything, you know, to take some portraits and everything, since I have the A7S III, I need to prepare my shots kind of at the get-go at first. So that's why if I'm kind of wanting a vertical shot or portrait type of photography itself, the Peak Design stuff, not gonna lie to you, it's the verticality stuff is really ass. So I definitely really enjoy this one specifically because you can just put this here, plop it vertically, and you have all the motions of where you want to go for your actual photo itself if you're using my tripod. So that's why I love this, and that's why it all exists in here because it's super, super light, and I definitely, when the time comes I need it, it's living there. If you're traveling, if you're vlogging, if you're a YouTuber like me, if you're going about on a trip, you definitely need some good audio. And that's why this Rode Video Micro exists in my bag all the time. Now, you're probably, you know, seen my previous videos where I had the other Rode shotgun mic. Great still, it's great and everything, but you know, I recently got this because I hate charging stuff. You know, I honestly really do. And charging my microphone and not having good audio is probably the one thing that frustrates me the most. I personally believe that if you don't have good audio, what's the point of watching the video itself? So that's why I kind of invested in this instead of using, you know, other types of microphones and kind of relying on, you know, my stupidity of trying to charge it. This doesn't require anything and it's great audio. I've used it for multiple videos actually, for like my hiking video as well as my camping stuff. So highly recommend if you're looking for a microphone. It's like super cheap. I think it's like 60 bucks, 70 bucks on Amazon. So highly recommend, and this is why I'd always just in here for those purposes. Now moving on into the all small other pockets is something you probably see, you know, on Amazon if you're a photographer, videographer or something, is just to clean your everyday, you know, cleaning stuff. Now, a puffer and a brush, I don't have to really explain it. If you got some gunk or you got some dust inside your actual camera itself when you change the lens, you got this little puffer to get all that stuff out there. And if you're kind of have crusty hands or I don't know, you got something on your camera or somewhere in your bag and you can't really puff it out, you know, a small brush is always great to use for those purposes. So that's why this exists in this pocket when those times comes. And moving on into this other small pocket is something I recommended before in the past, and that is the Aputure Mc Lite. I recommend this before. It's pretty inexpensive. I think it's like 100 bucks, I forget. Why I recommend this in the past and still lives in here for this bag is because, you know, they have magnets. If I'm working on a friend's car, or if I'm kind of just out and about, or if I need an extra light source, those moments come in the clutch all the time. If I don't have a flashlight, this is pretty much my last resort all the time. And that's why this exists in this pocket. Moving on into this actual side, which is the zipper organization side, is right at the get-go is a battery charger. Now, I don't have to explain why I need a battery charger. If you kind of lose all your battery, you can't use your camera. So when I'm in a pinch, if I'm going to a coffee shop, or if I kind of need that extra oomph to the day, if I've already used my batteries and stuff for some odd reason, you know, I have some way to actually charge those batteries during those times. So moving on into this pocket as well is for those who have crusty, freaking greasy fingers, and that's a microfiber. A microfiber cloth, as you already know, is great to have. I specifically carry a handkerchief usually most of the time in my everyday carry nowadays to actually clean off my lens or my phone. So that's why that exists. Now, moving on here is something I highly always use all the time on the everyday basis, especially since it's summertime, and that's the ND filter from the Polar Pro Mckinnon line. Now, this one is the 2 to 5 stop ND filter. You know, I love this lens, this filter specifically because, like, my gosh, this has come in the clutch all the time. You know, if it's like bright outside, if I'm making a video, if I'm like doing a B-roll type of thing and it's super bright, I need, you know, basically sunglasses for my lens. And that's pretty much like a demo of like what this is. If you don't know what an ND filter is, they're pretty much sunglasses for your lens and in terms of layman terms, pretty much to kind of help you not jack up your actual shutter or any type of f-stop. You use this to kind of minimize all that stuff so you're not compensating and ruining your framing for what sorts. So highly recommend an ND filter for your run and gun types of shoots, and that's why this exists in here all the time. Moving on into the other pocket here is, you know, all this stuff. If I do have a tripod, this exists here, which is just a regular, you know, latching type of thing you can just put on the sides of the actual bag itself. You know, that's why if I have a tripod, if I have a hoodie, you know, I can just latch this on and you're over and done with, instead of actually like putting it inside the bag to kind of fill up where you don't have space. So that's why this exists in here, and I always have this just in case for those moments. Moving on inside even deeper, which is kind of the reason why I don't really use the battery charger all the time, and that's the Peter Mckinnon Nomadic battery case. Now, I specifically carry 3 batteries, and you might be like thinking, Royce, that's overkill. Well, if you're doing a lot of B-roll and your camera gets too hot, or you're just leaving too much on your time lapse, you definitely need the juice. And that's why I carry 3 of them specifically in this battery case, and I have one also in my camera at all times for those occasions. Now, as you already know, a lot of things, people are getting sick, and I'm not about that. That's why I still carry 3 masks in here, for whether it be for myself or some friends. We're still in crazy times, and I'm not about to get sick, so that's why this exists here on the everyday basis. So moving deeper inside more, and this is something that I also carry within my car. Every single backpack literally has one, and that's a deck of cards. Now, this specifically is from the Travel 9 to 5 series, the photography deck. Specifically, why I kickstarted this in the beginning. Well, I love cards, and I thought it was pretty cool. But the greatest thing about this specifically is that it's waterproof. And the great thing about this specifically too, it's a photography deck where you can actually see like stuff about like photography itself. It's really cool, I think. Is this the right way? It's this way. Great things about this, you know, if I'm, you know, out and about, if it's raining, if it's, you spill something accidentally on the cards, no big deal, no harm, no foul or anything, because they're waterproof. But, you know, if I'm out with friends who don't really do photography and stuff, which is practically like all my friends, you know, when I'm using these cards, it kind of just teaches them like, oh, so that's what that does. Or like, oh, that's cool kind of thing where photography and video stuff kind of applies. So that's why I love having this in here for those specific reasons. And it's just a kind of a thing where I love playing cards. So that's why this exists in this bag. Last but not least, in this pocket is something I never thought I would ever carry ever again in my life. And that's cash. Now, I hate carry on cash, and in here specifically I have about like $50–$60 in here just for those occasions of when you need cash. Specifically, when I need cash is kind of really rare nowadays, but sometimes when I'm in those binds, if I for some reason cannot find my wallet, that's why this exists in here. It'll exist, you know, for those moments when, you know, gas is really getting super expensive and you need cash to kind of get that little cheaper price. That's why I carry cash here. You know, 60 bucks goes a long way, and that's pretty much why I carry around cash, and it lives inside the camera bag in all cases. But before I actually close this bag itself, something that's always in here right underneath is a small little compartment. And if you can't see this here, right in here exists an AirTag. Now, for the everyday person, if you steal my bag, I'ma find you. Just because I have this AirTag in here. And that's why it exists, just in case for those purposes. You never know if someone's gonna grab your bag. This has a lot of like expensive stuff, and I don't wanna be, you know, searching and kind of crying over the fact that, oh my gosh, my stuff is gone. You know, at least I have some type of small insurance to find it in those occasions if for some reason someone takes my bag. So if you know it's me, you better not take my bag, because I will find you. Now, closing the bag and going straight in the top is the attic. And in the attic, I specifically got is nothing. And there's a reason why there's really nothing in here. You know, if I'm out and about, if I really have my camera in my hand or something, I can just go on the straight top, pull it out, but kind of leave this latch like this open if I'm doing something real quick. And then I'm done, put it back in, close it up, and you're done. That's the best thing. Instead of taking your bag off completely, setting it down and everything, it's just a whole task in itself, and ain't nobody got the time for that. So that's why I love this portion and why it's empty for those purposes if I need some extra available space on the go. Now, in here, if you can tell, is some small pockets. And specifically, I carry on the side Altoids. Now, for the ones who have bad breath, sure, you definitely need some Altoids. But if you're out and about, you know, you're going out to drink, you're going to, you know, eat something or whatever, and you have your camera bag on you, at least you know you got some emergency, like I got my breath a lot more refreshed for those moments. And whether it be for those reasons or whether it be just because you're getting hungry and you kind of have nothing else to eat, that's why this also exists in here for those purposes. So last but not least is this pocket here. This pocket is something I don't normally open just because it's just kind of something that's just for emergency purposes or when I feel like it. And right at the get-go, that is the Anker Magsafe battery pack. Now, I specifically carry this and only use this, you know, if I know if I'm like it's an overnight stay or if like my battery is actually for my phone really low. Now, this gets me out of the bind for those moments. And that's specifically why I have this in here, because if I'm in a pinch and I need an extra boost to my camera, my phone, that's why this is in here. So it's just an over and done thing for those emergency purposes. And that's why it exists in this pocket for those moments. And last but not least, something I'm getting back into, this is the Moleskin plain notebook that I have alongside with the Big Eye Design titanium bolt action pen. I specifically carry these two specifically in here, and it lives in there for those moments when I feel like I should write something down, or if I have like an idea, I don't really want to always return back to my phone. That's why I'm saying, you know, I want to go back to the old days where we're printing photos, we're writing, we're reading from the actual book itself, and all that kind of jazz. Kind of getting myself out of the electronics is pretty much the idea that I want to do lately. That's why a pen and paper always exists in this bag. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching. You know, I just wanted to share what's inside my camera bag, 2022 style. You know, this is all the stuff that I just been using all the time in my bag, taking all the stuff that I don't need out and all the stuff that I need, everything in this bag for those moments when I need it. Hope you enjoyed today's video. You know, this is something that I've definitely been waiting on for quite some time, just because I want to get this ready for my type of stuff. That's why I've been kind of experimenting for a while. And I love this bag, so highly recommend if you're looking for a camera bag that kind of does pretty much everything, this is your bag. So if you haven't already, like, comment, subscribe, all that good jazz. And wherever you are, hope you have a blessed day. God bless. Peace.